What's good, everybody? This is my NXT Wargames 2020 review. Overall, the show to me it was okay. I really enjoyed it. The Wargames matches were like the most important things to me. Hence, the name of the pay per view. But anyway, I like to start off by talking about the triple threat match for the North American Championship. We have Leon Rush, North American Champion. You have Johnny Gargano, and you have Damian Priest. Now, leading up to this, I really didn't know that much about Leon Ruff, but I'm not gonna lie, I've kind of been enjoying his build as this underdog and stuff. The only thing that I have a problem with, he hasn't really shown me that yet. Like he's still, even after winning the championship, he's still the same person. We haven't really seen that edge to him yet, which is something that I was thought we would get in this match, but unfortunately we didn't really get that much. The basically the premise of the match is like I thought in my preview was that Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest were not going to pay him any attention. Throughout the match, you see Damian Priest throwing Leon Russ off, saying, "Hey, get out of my way! I'm winning this championship," and he's not really doing anything. It got to the point where like he actually slapped Damian Priest, and Damian got angry at him and started beating him down, and then gave him a razor's edge through the plexiglass. Now that should have been it. Leon should have went down, but in typical underdog fashion, he got up and proceeded to enter the match. He did his thing here and there. Johnny Takeover as always trying to steal the show. But Leon Rush he really didn't do that much for me in this match. Like every time he was attacking Damian Priest, he kept having this shocked look on his face. Like, dude, you're the champion. Like do something. Show me why you deserve to stay champion. And it was an okay match for a while, and then Damian Priest started getting attacked by these ghost faced individuals. I think it was like six of them, and then we got a seventh one that hit Damian with a pipe, and that ended up being what led to Johnny Gargano winning the North American Championship for the third time. Can can I just ask this question? Why are we still seeing ghost face individuals? Halloween is over. Like, come on, man. I let it slide with Indy Hartwell. You did it another time at Halloween Havoc, which I was like, okay. But now it's overkill, man. I never want to see Scream on NXT television ever again, and that's facts. You come to find out that one of the guys that was in the Scream Mask was Austin Theory. He ended up helping Johnny Gargano win. I think it was kind of funny when he said it's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin. I thought that was hilarious. So I'm I enjoyed the match for what it was, but it it didn't need to be on Takeover. This could have been on NXT, and you could have had the same result. But it honestly makes me question, why would you give Leon Rush the North American Championship just for a cup of tea? It really made no sense to me. You could have continued to build him up as a credible champion. He could have got more that edge to him, and then when he finally fights Johnny Gargano one on one, he could have make it be a long, drawn out match, and he could have lost, and he would have looked good in the end. He really didn't do anything for me. What's next for him? Honestly, I don't know. Like, there's no need for him to go after the championship. We know he won't win. We've already been proven he can't beat Johnny Gargano one on one. Damian Priest, I guess he goes after Johnny. But eventually that's gonna get stale. You're gonna have to have somebody new for him. Honestly, I will put him up against Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis and Johnny Gargano could be interesting. That and speaking of Dexter Loomis, that leads me to the strap match. The strap match was okay. Um, Cameron Grimes is still annoying as hell to me, but he can't get it done in the ring. Um, this was another match that I felt that it didn't need to be on this card. It could have just been on NXT. I just hope that the feud is finally over. We saw Cameron Grimes bring his own strap to the match, saying that if we don't use my strap, there won't be a strap match, and Dexter was just okay with it. And what I found weird about it is the same strap that he used was the same strap that the referee was going to put on him anyway. I thought that was weird. The strap was used multiple times in this match. They were lashing each other, pulling each other off the ring apron, like all kind of stuff. And it ends with Cameron Grimes getting tapping out to Dexter Loomis, who I his character is just funny. This quiet demeanor and stuff, and that cold look he gives people. It reminds me of Stone Cold Steve Austin when like he would give this far off look, and commentators like Jr. would say, "Look at his eyes, King. Look at his eyes." It reminds me so much of that. And the crazy part is, this man doesn't talk. He doesn't need a mouthpiece. It just works for him. I don't get it. Like, but he's making it work. So props to him. The other match that I want to talk about is the match between Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa. What are we doing with Tommaso Ciampa? I really gotta ask NXT Creative this. Like, he went from a heel, which is what he should be at all times. I don't ever want to see him as a face, and now he's a face, and he wants to stand up for the locker room and face bullies like Timothy. I don't really get it. But anyway, it was a hard hitting match, as you would expect. These guys were scrapping it up. It got to the point where Tommaso hit one of his running knees to Timothy Thatcher and busted his ear open. That looked sick. Um, Tommaso even used the same chokehold that Dean Ambrose uses on AEW. I thought that was interesting. I um I don't know if that's just something he wanted to do, or if it was I don't know if it was just something that he wanted to take from Ambrose. But that was that was really interesting. It was an okay match, but I don't know what it is about Thatcher. He really doesn't do it for me. He can get it done in the ring, but as far as his character, I can't connect with it. I don't know what they can do to like tweak his character or anything, or maybe he's just a good workhorse in the ring. But I'm not really interested in him. I don't see him winning the North American Championship or the NXT title. I just don't know the direction they're gonna put him in. And then another thing is, this is another. I love Tommaso Ciampa, but this is another thing that should have just been on NXT. Like, you got to do something better with this man. He's a former NXT champion and tag team champion. He he can get the job done in the ring. His character's always on point. You got to give him something better. I don't know. I don't know what you do. Like, I feel like his role and Johnny's role need to be reversed. They can't touch it. They're not supposed to touch each other anymore because of their last match that Tommaso lost. So I don't know what direction they're putting him in. Now let's get to my favorites. These War Games matches. We're gonna start off with the women here. The women started actually kicked off the show. Um, Team Candice LeRae with Candice LeRae, Raquel Gonzalez, Dakota Kai, and Tony Storm against Team Shotzi with Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai, the NXT Women's Champion. Before we get to the match, one of the funniest things was, or the coolest things, was seeing Shotzi come out in her upgraded tank. And Dakota Kai was going to start the match off. All the team Shotzi got into the tank and were posing and everything. What I didn't expect was for her to press a button and the like missile prop come out and hit the cage, which kind of scared Dakota a little bit. I thought that was extremely funny. But after that, I thought Shotzi looked like she was going to start the match off, but Ember stopped and said, "No, I got this." So, because her and Dakota got a little beef going on, which is I guess it's still ongoing. So yeah, they start the match off, a good little back and forth with them. Team Shotzi has the advantage, but you really didn't feel that in this match. Um, Let me see. Everything was going smoothly. And then you got down to Io's turn to come into the match, but she could not get into war games. She was putting weapons in there. She tried to go through the cage. Raquel was right there to stop her at every turn. She put ladders, she put chairs, she put all sorts of things in the ring, but she could not get into the ring. It got to the point where Tony Storm took off her belt and used her belt to close up the cage so Io could not get in there. Then then Candice LeRae, she came into the fray and looked like her and Io were about to fight. And then who shows up? Indy Hartwell. Like, she shows up, hits Io in the back. They beat her down. She's all smiles. She takes the key. She takes the key. Candice goes in. Indy locks the door, and the refs are telling her to give her the key, but they're just staring at her. And then Indy says, "You want it?" She puts it in her shirt and tells them to come get it. That was interesting. And she just went to the back. There was nothing that they could do. So Io is locked out of the cage, and Team Shotzi is getting the hell beat out of her. It was looking bad for a while. And then something that I predicted in my preview, I predicted that Io would do one of her moonsaults off the cage, or Ember Moon would do her eclipse off the top of the cage. I was kind of wrong. So what Io did, she climbed to the top of the cage with a trash can. She put the trash can over the top of her body, and she just jumped, threw caution into the wind, and jumped on all of the women. That was that was reckless. It was dangerous, but it was also funny. Um, Another cool spot in this match was with Dakota Kai. She put the trash can on Io, went to the top rope, and did a double stump off the top. She could. It was caved in, man, caved in on Io's body. Dakota could hardly get it off of her body once it caved in on her. She tried to pin her. The pin was broke up. Another cool spot with Dakota Kai. Ember Moon set up two chairs. She put Dakota where those chairs were. She went to the top rope and hit an eclipse, and it looked nasty, disgusting. Like, I thought that would be the end of the match, but no, she kicked out. Well, no, she didn't kick out. Tony Storm interfered, and Tony Storm hit a Storm Zero on the trash can on Ember Moon. I thought that would be it, but no, that wasn't it. That was broken up. The ending of the match, I'm not gonna lie to you, with how the feud has been going, you would think that the match would end somehow with Shotzi pinning Candice, but no. What happened was, earlier, a ladder was set up in between the two rings, with two chairs kind of acting as a platform for that ladder, along with the ring ropes. So what happened is, Raquel Gonzalez took Io. They were both on the top rope, and she power bombed her through that ladder. It looked nasty, and then that metal in between the two rings, that looked like a hard fall. Raquel pins her for the win. The heels actually win this. Like, it's crazy. The faces had the advantage going into War Games, and they still lost. It didn't look too good for them, but I'm kind of happy that Raquel won. Over the last month or so, she has really improved. Like, I can take her as a credible threat to Io's championship reign. Now, how Dakota comes into that, I don't know. I don't really see her being happy um with Raquel winning that championship and being the NXT champion, when she feels that spot belongs to her. So I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go. You can have Ember Moon and Tony Storm feud with each other. Those that could produce some awesome matches with a number one contendership on the line. Shotzi and Candice, I don't know if that's done, especially with news coming out that Candice might have a broken arm. Triple H said that she was getting X-rays last night after the post show for War Games. I hope that she's all right. But all these women, they did their thing in the match. I was even impressed with Shotzi. I haven't really been able to connect with her as a character on NXT, but I'm starting to feel her a little bit more. She showed a little bit more aggression. She showed that edge, and I'm excited to see what they do next with her. Um, who Rhea Ripley? I don't know where she goes from here. I'm hearing she might be going to the main roster. I don't. I really don't have faith in them to do her justice. They haven't really done her justice in a while now. After that loss to Charlotte, she hasn't been able to get back where she was. I'm interested to see how they can actually get her back into that top spot. But yeah, last year's War Games ended with Shayna Baszler being pinned by Rhea Ripley, and then 1 year later, you have the same thing with Raquel Gonzalez pinning the NXT Women's Champion in Io Shirai. So I'm really looking forward to what the women do in the future. And then we have the main event, which is the men's War Games match. You had the Undisputed Era versus Pat McAfee's. I'm gonna call them the Rat Pack. This match was good. We started out with Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly has become my favorite wrestler in the company right now. Like everything about him, his demeanor, the way he comes to the ring, especially when he has a championship and he does the air guitar thing. Like, what is there not to like about Kyle O'Reilly? But him and Pete Dunne started this match. They had a good back and forth. You had who was it? It was Orny Lorcan. He came. I think he came either him or Danny. I don't know. I can't. I get them confused sometimes. But you had them come in and do their thing. Cricket bats were introduced into this match, which is interesting. You had that along with the joint manipulation of Pete Dunne. The match really broke down when Pat McAfee came in. Pat McAfee. He's so annoying, man. I was really looking forward to him getting his ass kicked, but he took not chairs. He took tables from underneath the ring. The tables had the Undisputed Era's names on those tables, which I kind of thought was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. But the match, once Adam Cole came in, he fire extinguished all of the Rat Pack, and he got it popping. He came in, a house of fire, them going back and forth in War Games. It was real interesting to see. Um, some cool spots was let's see, it was when Bobby Fish he speared. I believe it was Danny Burch through his own table, which was in the middle of the two rings, close to the end of the cage. You had Pat McAfee do a swanton off the top of the cage onto everybody. That was pretty cool. You had another cool spot that I didn't see coming. Cole actually hit the Panama Sunrise on McAfee, and McAfee kicked out. And I'm just like, wow, are they actually gonna win? Because it was in the back of my mind. Undisputed Era have never won a War Games match. Like that's never happened before. They've always been on the losing end. Um, And then the moment that I was waiting for, they Undisputed Era, they quadruple team three members of Team McAfee, laid them out, and all that was left was McAfee to deal with the Undisputed Era, and they beat him down. It brought joy to my heart just to see him get his ass kicked. I'm not gonna lie. Um, but the match ended, which another thing I didn't see coming. It ended with Kyle O'Reilly picking up the victory for his boys. A table, not a table, a chair was set on Orny Lorcan's face. Kyle O'Reilly came off the top rope with his knee right into that chair into his face, and he kind of busted him open a little bit. And Kyle O'Reilly gets the win. I was so happy. Like I said before, Kyle O'Reilly is my guy. But the Undisputed Era, they pull out a win here. Their first win in War Games. Like they've never won until that night. My only thing is where do they go from here? They've done everything in NXT. There's nothing left for them to really do. I hope and pray they don't go to the main roster. Those those guys are special, and I would hate for Vince to get his hands on them and ruin what they've built for themselves. Especially Kyle O'Reilly. Like all of these guys are main event ready guys. Like if they did break up, all of them could see success as singles competitors. Like you can't tell me otherwise. But I don't know what to do with them. Like to me, War Games ended their feud with McAfee. He's 0-2 against Cole, so I don't know what else you do with them. Like they've done it all. Like they're the kings of NXT in my opinion. I just don't know where they go from here. And to me, the women's match was better because it you have more direction for those 8 women than you do for these men in this War Games match. And to me, that's why it's the best. But anyway, yeah, that's my review for NXT War Games, and I'll be back with another video. Peace.